I mean, I have to say, I really only had really good flutes after I had my first Selmer flute, which was a real disaster. I mean, I'm talking about 40 years ago. They're probably quite good now. But, you know, the cheap end of Selmer 40 years ago, if you took it out of the box, it fell to pieces. I mean, it was dangerous. You weren't supposed to play it. And mine gradually fell to bits. And then my dad bought a flute from a friend, which was made by E.J. Albert in Brussels. And this was a pretty good flute. And I used that one right through my first 2 years of college. And then, because I played in various orchestras around London, you know, little gigs and amateur opera societies, I got enough money to buy a Haynes, and I bought my first Haynes closed hole offset G low C. And I played on that one right through my first year, right through the Royal College of Music, through the Guildhall, and through the Paris Conservatoire. And the first year in the opera, I was solo flute in the opera when I was 21. And I got enough money there together to buy a Cooper. And I just bought a Cooper inline, open hole, low B. And that's what I've played ever since. And I didn't buy it because it was fashionable or anything. Because most of the players in London when I was playing did play on closed hole. Jeffrey played on open hole because he played a Louis Lot. William Bennett played a Louis Lot. And I just played a Cooper. And after Cooper, I had difficulty with the Cooper because, you know, the padding was not so good 30 years ago. It was very difficult to get a flute absolutely padded fantastic, but now it's not so difficult because of the quality of the pads and the workmanship of the flute itself. But in those days I had a lot of difficulty, so I got a Muramatsu because it was rather like owning a Ford. You could get it fixed in every corner. And that's what I went for because I needed some sort of reliability. Because you see, my Cooper flute, which is without any doubt, the flute that Mr. Cooper made for me to play in the Berlin Philharmonic is the best flute I own. Absolutely, without doubt. This is a fantastic flute. The only problem is it's A445. But I'm seriously thinking of starting to play it again, because from 445 you can go down to 443 dead easy. And most orchestras say they play at 440, but they don't. You know, that I have to push my flute right in for some orchestras, and it's built at 442. And I still have to fiddle around getting notes and tune and up, you know. So I'm thinking of that, but maybe I'll get Mr. Nagahara to make me one at A444 or something like this. This is another project. So I changed then. Gradually, things happened. You know, Mr. Broger came on the scene from Denmark, and he made a flute, a special flute, and I bought one, all gold, and it's the only one like that in the whole world. Then I showed it to Muramatsu, and they gave it back to me. But in the meantime, Miyazawa started to make a whole complete Broger system. And but I didn't care for the head joints on their flutes. And then I tried a Nagahara, and I thought, boy, this is a good flute. And he has also a special mechanism which is to my taste. It's a much smoother and easier mechanism. And you know, when you get to my age, you need all the help you can get. So that's how I arrived today to play what I play. It was not sort of a business arrangement or anything like this. And it wasn't a business arrangement with Muramatsu either. I just played their flutes because I thought, well, you know, they're actually the best that was going around at the time. But now other flute makers are overtaking them with new ideas. And some of the boutique flute makers, like I think Mr. Nagahara is a boutique flute maker because he only makes about 70 to 100 flutes a year. Whereas these other guys are making 4,000. So, you know, it's a difference between a handmade Rolls Royce and a good Ford. You see what I mean?